Hello and welcome to the e-module on generators part 2. Let's take a look at the learning objectives of this e-module. At the end of the e-module, you will be able to understand the operation of diesel generators, know the starting and stopping procedure in automatic and manual mode, know what are the safety precautions while operating DGs, note the service levels of DGs, understand the ABCD maintenance check protocol for DGs, understand the top issues and troubleshooting ideas, learn about the statutory requirements. Let's start with understanding the diesel generator operation. You will recall, in the previous module, that is part 1, we covered all the basics of generators and their functions. In this module, that is part 2, as a continuation, we will look into the operations and maintenance of diesel generators, that is DGs, in greater detail. It is essential that DGs are maintained in fully operational condition for them to serve their purpose of providing backup supply at the times when they are required. Therefore, a schedule of starting DGs of no load and on load should be developed. Usually, a daily starting and running on no load for 5 to 10 minutes and a weekly running on load for 30 to 60 minutes is recommended. A diesel generator has two methods of starting, manual and automatic. We will look at both of these in detail. Use the following steps given below to start the generator in the auto mode. Check the water level in radiator. Check the level of diesel in day tank. Check the battery voltage or charge. It must be in the range of 24 VDC to 30 VDC. Keep the outlet valve of diesel tank open. Ensure that the remote switches for all DGs are in auto mode. Ensure the mode selector switch on control panel is in auto mode. Put the auto manual switch of utility power ACB in manual mode. Switch off the utility ACB by pressing stop push button. Remember that the DG will start automatically and DG ACB of DG panel will close automatically. Second will start automatically and DG ACB of DG panel will close automatically after synchronization. Note that the ATS will transfer load to DGs automatically as the utility supply is off. Use the following steps given below to start the generator in the manual mode. Keep the mode selector switch in manual mode. Keep the selector switch in manual mode position. Change the DG synchronizing panel to manual. Press the start switch on automatic control unit, that is synchronizing panel of DG panel. Make sure that the voltage on main DG panel is 415 volts and frequency is 50 Hz. Press the breaker close push button on DG synchronizing panel. Note that the ACB will close and supply will be available to power panel. Now that we know the starting procedure, let's look at the stopping procedure. Let's begin with the auto mode. In auto mode, put the utility power ACB in auto mode and switch on the utility supply breaker. The AMF panel or ATS will automatically transfer the load to utility supply and shut down the DG after the cooling period, which may last from 60 seconds to 180 seconds. In manual mode, switch off the DG from the control panel. After testing, ensure that control panel switch is turned to auto mode. As with working on all electrical equipment and devices, there are some basic safety precautions that must be taken during its operations, especially since DGs supply high voltage currents. Therefore, For any personnel who operates the DG, the following safety precautions need to be taken very seriously. Do not open a radiator cap when the generator or engine is hot. Do not touch the generator when your hands are wet. Do not adjust the speed or fuel injection etc. while running. Do not fill in the fuel while the generator is running. Do not shut down the generator when it is on load. Do not run the generator with a defective element. Wear helmets before entering inside a generator room. Wear earplugs or protective headphones to reduce the risk from equipment noise. While the DG is running, there are some basic parameters that should be checked and logged, which are as follows. Lube oil temperature, lube oil pressure or differential pressure, coolant temperature, exhaust temperature, engine RPM, total running hours, voltage and current in all three phases, kWh or kVA, battery voltage. Let's now look at some of the safety features of DGs. With multiple systems and elements working in tandem in a diesel generator, there are too many things that may go wrong with any of the systems and at a speed which may not give adequate reaction time to the personnel manning the system. Continuing operation of a DG in such conditions can damage the DG to a large extent and also cause unsafe conditions for personnel in the area. For this reason, the manufacturers build in a lot of sensors to check the parameters of the DG. These sensors may be for temperature, pressure, differential pressure, and so on. These sensors are used for two basic purposes: to indicate the parameter being monitored on a gauge or meter and to shut down the system if the value of the parameter goes beyond set limits of tolerance. These units which shut down the system on the respective parameter going beyond the threshold levels are called cutouts. We will now learn what these are. Safety control trip for low lube oil pressure. Safety control trip for high lube oil temperature. Safety control trip for high water temperature. Safety control trip for engine overspeed. Winding high temperature. Electrical safety devices like earth fault, overvoltage, undervoltage, short circuit, overload, reverse current, etc. are present in the EMF or ATS. Let's look at the service levels now. DG should be available for 99% of the time except for the scheduled maintenance. DG should automatically take over the load of the facility on mains failure. All scheduled maintenance needs to be taken as per 52-week maintenance plan. ABCD checks of DG are to be undertaken as per the running hours of DG. Fuel levels should be maintained at all times. Routine testing of DG is to be undertaken as per schedule. All statutory returns are to be filed on respective dates. Stack testing and noise testing is to be undertaken as required for compliance with regulatory authorities. As mentioned in the service levels, ABCD checks of DG are undertaken as per the running hours of the DG. Now, let's look at the ABCD maintenance check protocol for DGs. Let's look at the A checks, also known as daily checks for DGs now. Check the battery voltage. It must be between 23 and 25 VDC. The specific gravity of batteries must be between 1.15 and 1.3. The battery electrolyte level should be approximately 15 mm above the plates. Check all hoses, pipes for any leakages and arrest it immediately. Ensure that the pipes and hoses are free from oil and water traces. Check the intake air restriction indicator if available. Check the engine lubricating oil level. Check the abnormal noise and vibration while taking trial run. Check and tighten engine starter motor cable terminals. Check the engine control panel and display working condition. Ensure the selector switch position in control panel is in auto mode. Check the condition of radiator fan belt and its tension. Ensure emergency stop buttons are in released condition and AMF is in auto mode. Check the radiator water and coolant level. Check the diesel level in the daily fuel tank should be full. Now, let's look at the following DG parts that must be cleaned. Clean the engine, fuel and air hoses. Clean the alternator. Clean the cable terminal box. Clean the air and fuel filters externally. Clean the radiator and coolant pipelines. Clean the batteries and cables. Let's now look at the monthly or quarterly checks which are in addition to above. Inspect and clean battery terminals. Apply petroleum jelly if required. Drain the lube oil and fill up with recommended oil. Replace the lube of oil filter, water filter, lube oil bypass filter if installed, fuel filter and air filter. Clean the crankcase breather. Drain the sediments from the day oil tank, clean tank if necessary. Drain and use new coolant. A coolant is water mixed with concentrate in correct proportion. Check the air cleaner and evacuator valve. Change these if required. Let's look at the B checks which are conducted after 300 hours of DG operation. Repeat A check. Change engine oil. Change engine oil full flow oil filters. Change fuel filters. Clean fuel tank breather. Clean crankcase breather. Check hydraulic governor oil level. Check throttle linkages. Check air system piping. Check vacuum indicator in air system. Check pH of coolant inhibitor and add if required. Check radiator condition for damages and choke of fins. Remove the crank end cover of DC alternator and apply smear molybdenum grease over CE bearing pin. Clean the brush for dust inside the self-starter and secure CE cover off properly and apply Elcoprine sealing compound around the cover. Check the smoothness of ball bearings of DC alternator. Check the smoothness of ball bearings of AC alternator. Clean the AC alternator with blower at DE and NDE side. Check the position of flexible coupling of AC alternator physically. Check the tightness of all fasteners of AC alternator. Check the tightness of internal and external connections of AC alternator. Check the tightness of neutral and body earthing of AC alternators. Check condition of anti-vibration mountings of AVR. Check the condition of permanent magnet generator, that is residual magnetism of PMG. Check the condition of AVR. Adjust the valve tappet clearance. Check function and condition of thermostat. Check the loose connections in the wiring harness of the system. The next are the C checks, which are conducted after 1000 hours of DG operation or annually. Record lubricant oil pressure. Repeat A and B checks. Change hydraulic governor oil. Clean fuel tank from inside. Adjust injectors and valves. Replace rocker cover gaskets. Clean radiator for the choking of fins. Check fan hub and idler and water pump of radiator. Inspect AC alternator and self-starter. Check the air cleaner vacuum indicator. Check the anti-vibration mountings of DG set condition. Check separator function and change if required. Check the condition of static potentiometer and EDC, that is, electronic diesel control. The last type of checks are D-checks, which are conducted after 2500 hours of DG operation. Cylinder head to be removed and decarbonize. Wash and clean all lubricating oil passages. Examine the main and large end crankshaft bearings and the camshaft bearings. Replace if necessary. Check the journals and the crank pin. Regrind if necessary. Check up all the clearances and take necessary steps to maintain them within specified limits. Check up the fuel injection pump. Set injector at the correct fuel injection pressure. Replace the nozzle if necessary. Examine and if necessary, grind in the inlet and exhaust valves. Let's now look at the top issues caused to the diesel generators and the ways to troubleshoot these issues. Problem: generator fails to start. Reason: the reason could be due to faulty battery or charger, or there is no fuel. Solution: test battery and charger and replace if necessary. Check fuel level. If okay, check fuel delivery and quality. Problem: shut down due to low oil pressure. Reason: the reason could be that the oil level is too low. Solution: check with dipstick and ensure oil top off. Problem: shut down due to high temperature. Reason: coolant level is too low. Solution: coolant levels should be checked and appropriately refilled. Problem: generator set poor performance. Reason: this is due to filtration systems clogged. Fuel and air filters will retard performance. Solution: change or clean filters as required. Problem: generator does not carry full loads. Reason: obstruction in fuel or air filter. The other reason could be carbonization of the cylinder head occurs if engines are regularly run in underload conditions. Solution: load testing may be required to assess the cause and a major overhaul may be necessary. Problem: white smoke from the diesel generator. Reason: white smoke is indicative of fuel not burning properly. Solution: check injectors and check for air in the fuel system. Problem: no output from alternator. Reason: this could be because the automatic voltage regulator AVR is faulty or maybe a breaker is tripped. Solution: check and repair or replace faulty automatic voltage regulator, that is AVR, or breaker if required. Diesel generators use fuel and emit noise and exhaust gases into the environment. Therefore, proper approvals from the State Pollution Control Board and environmental agencies are required. In addition, there are returns to be submitted to the government agencies on the utilization of DGs. Following points are to be kept in mind. Consent to operate, that is AIR. Use of DGs need to be initiated only after consent to operate is available from the CPCB. The DGs should be approved for type testing and should bear a COP, that is conformance of production tally. Noise levels of the DGs should be as per the norms published by the Central Pollution Control Board. Stack testing to be done annually to ensure emissions are in line with prescribed norms. Stack height should be in accordance with prescribed norms. Disposal of old batteries and used diesel or oil should be done in accordance with CPCB norms. Form B should be submitted every month indicating the use of DGs and payment made accordingly. Congratulations! You have now completed this e-module on part 2 of generators. In this e-module, you learned the following: operation of diesel generators, starting and stopping procedures in automatic and manual mode, precautions while operating DGs, types of checks and maintenance levels of DGs, top issues and troubleshooting ideas.